So before you join in a Zoom meeting, you might want to check whether your audio and video settings are okay so that when you start your meeting, everyone can see you and hear you properly. And plus, you hear everyone and see everyone well. So in order to go to the video and audio settings, you go on to the top right hand side over here where you see the gear icon. So you click on the settings right over here. And here you see two options, video and audio. And this is what we're going to look at right now. So let's start with video right over here. So once I go to the video tab, you can see my webcam is running right over here. And now you can choose the camera. So if you have multiple cameras plugged in onto your computer or for some reason, you can actually go over here and choose that out over here. Here you can see that I got multiple cams using the default camera of my laptop itself. So you can see that it is 16 by 9 widescreen video right now. You can also go to original video and it'll change the aspect ratio. So if you want a widescreen view, so you can actually go in right over here. Besides this, you also have option to rotate. So right now you can see that you can rotate your view if your view is not showing up properly. So you can rotate it out if it is not showing up properly from right over here. From over here on the bottom, you can see that you can enable SD as well. So that actually increases my field of view right over there. And it broadcasts an SD video from the webcam right over here. So let me just disable that in my case. Because usually I don't want to go with SD video while I'm conferencing with a lot of people. So you can also see a mirror video. So you can mirror out the video if you want to see it at the side right over here. And there's this handy feature as well. So if you want to touch up your appearance, you can actually click over here and it adds a soft shadow right here. So it's not very much, but you can see that on my skin as I click on touch up, it actually puts in a soft shadow in like. So if you have any blemishes and everything, it actually clears that out as well. So this is a cool feature to have as well when you're actually conferencing. So let me just turn off in my case. So over here you can see that there's other options. So it says in the meeting always display participants name on their video. So if you want to see participants name while they are video chatting, then you might want to turn this on, or if you don't want to see their name, you can just turn this off. So this is just a personal preference. You can also choose to turn off your video when joining the meeting right over here. So you can actually just turn off the video and then your webcam will not start unless you actually give it permission. It also says always show video preview dialog when joining the video meeting. So before you join in the meeting, if you check this on, it'll pop up a screen where it shows how you look on the webcam. So usually you want to have this on as well. You can also hide non-video participants, so you only see the participants who have turned their video on. Usually I don't want this. I want to see all the participants right over there. Also, spotlight my video when I speak. So once you turn this on, when you are speaking, your video actually pops up onto the screen. This is something you may want to have. It says also like display up to 49 participants per screen in gallery view. So if you turn this on, if there are up to 49 participants, you see them all in gallery view. So sometimes what you want to do is you want to see all of them all together and see their expressions. If you still do not see a video, you can click on troubleshooting and it tries to give you support through the support center right over here. So you go to the support center and it opens up the Zoom website where you can actually seek for support if your webcam is not working. So usually, unless there's a problem in any software installation or any driver problem, this won't be an issue in most of the case. So this is what you have access to in the video setting. And over here in the video setting, you also have an advanced tab. So let's see what that is all about. So once I click on the advanced tab, you can see that you can enable denoise. So if your camera produces noise, then it actually softens this out. If you enable denoise, which is turned on by default, but this does take up processor speed. So if you're using slow computer, a relatively an old computer, you might want to disable this out. The other part over here is enable hardware acceleration for video processing. So it actually uses your graphic card to process your video, which is quite good. And enable hardware acceleration for sending and receiving videos, you do want to turn this on. You can also choose video rendering method. So if you're more of an advanced user on the rendering engine that you want to choose, you have that option over here as well. So you can select DirectX 11 flip mode, DirectX 11, 9 or ZDI on whatever you wish. Usually it's better to leave them in auto unless you know what you're doing and you're familiar with the graphics rendering. Otherwise, just leave this alone. And then over here, there's video rendering and post-processing. You can enable this out as well. That means it tries to render out the video, produce it in better quality. So usually in if you have to present it in a proper conference, then you might want to enable it. But if you don't care about the looks, then you can just disable it out. In order to save computer screen, you can just disable that out as well. And as you restart the Zoom, that will take effect. So I'm just going to leave it on to auto. So over here, the other option you have is video capture method as well. So you have the auto, direct show, and media foundation. Again, if you know what you're doing, then you have these options. Otherwise, you can just leave them out. So that is there for the video settings. The other setting we have is for the audio. So you can actually go over here and click on test speaker. So it'll play out a sound and see if your speaker is working well. And you can also choose the speaker. So if you have more than one speaker, you can use this drop down list and choose different speakers right over here. And in the microphone, you can see that this is the microphone that I'm using. So usually on your laptop, you only see only one microphone. But if you have multiple microphones plugged in for some reason, then you can choose that out over here as well. And I can choose the microphone volume from right over here. You can also automatically adjust the volume, which is usually the setting you should go for as well. So now, if you want to test the microphone, you can click on test mic and speak. I'm testing my microphone right now. And then click on testing my microphone right now. And you can see that once I press the recording button, it actually plays back the sound to me, and I can hear how it sounds for the other people. So it says here that there's other option as well, like use separate audio device to play ringtone simultaneously. So if you have separate audio devices, more than 2 devices, you can turn this on so that your ring comes from a different speaker. So you can do that as well. There's other option over here where it says automatically join audio by computer when joining a meeting. So if you don't want to click on join audio every time you start a meeting, you can just check this off right over here. So over here, there's mute my microphone when joining a meeting. So if you want your microphone muted when you join a meeting, you can click this in. So usually in last conference, this is what you may need to do. There's something that is handy when enabled. So it says press and hold space key to temporarily unmute yourself. So if you're on a conference and you're on mute, you want to just temporarily unmute yourself, you can hold space bar and then speak to everyone. So that's something that you can do as well. And sync the buttons on headsets here. So if you have a particular headset with which has special buttons, then if you turn this on, then as long as the headset is supported, it'll sync that mute and unmute buttons, volume buttons on your headset with the Zoom application. So you can turn this on, so might work for some headsets and might not work for other. Besides this, you also have advanced feature as over here as well. So unless you're an advanced user, you want to work around with certain things, this is not totally necessary. But anyways, let's see what is there. So over here, you can see that it says show in meeting option to enable original sound from the microphone. So you can see that without processing, you can, without denoising it, without any filtration, you can actually show in meeting option to enable original sound from microphone. If you turn this on, then you will see that option in the meeting as well. Usually, unless you know what you're doing, you don't want to turn this on. There's also audio processing options right over here, just like video processing options. So you can suppress persistent background noise, which is automatically on. You can also disable it if you're sure that you don't have any background noises going on. Usually you do want to turn this on. It does not take up much processing power as the video settings right over here. So just say auto, that'll be fine. If you do aggressive, then it'll really cut out the background noise as much as possible, especially if you're in a noisy environment. The other one is suppress intermittent background noise. So there's different type: persistent background noise. Intermittent is like background noise which comes in a series of intervals. So you can this is like persistent and intermittent, so you can choose that out. There's also an echo cancellation. So sometimes what happens is that someone else is speaking, it comes to your microphone, and then what happens is that the speaker's sound goes to the microphone and it goes back as an echo. So you can actually turn this on as aggressive, and what that does is that it cancels the echo caused by your side. So if there's an echo going on in the meeting, you can actually turn this on as well. Usually auto is fine, it tries to detect it yourself, but you're having a lot of echo problem in your meetings, then you might want to come here onto the advanced settings and then select aggressive right over here in echo cancellation. So those are the settings that you can work with, and if you're not happy with the settings, you want to go back to default, you can always click restore default, both on the audio right over here and then over here as well. So just like that, you can go over here and set up the audio and video settings, and this is something to be done before you start your meeting so that you don't have problem during the meeting. So that is how you can set the audio and video settings inside of the Zoom client. So hope you guys learned something as always, and as always, please like, comment, share and subscribe.